Thank you so much for being here at the Regenerate Your Reality webinar series. We are all about regeneration in every way, and today we are going to talk about living live foods and how to really utilize living off of as much as we can of raw and live foods and organic especially. And it's such a pleasure to have Lena Ropp on our webinar series today. And we're going to have a little conversation, a live demo, and then we'll open it up to Lena just to introduce yourself, and then we'll just kind of have a conversation from there.
Sounds amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Jean. Thank you for having me here. Thank you everyone who joined and who's gonna watch replay later. Guys, so my name is Lena Ropp, and I'm an author of ebooks. I have lots of recipe ebooks, and they all devoted to living cuisine. So I specialize in raw living foods, and you call it living cuisine. It's sounds amazing, and it tastes amazing, and it gives you so much nutrients and so much benefits for your body. And so I choose to live this lifestyle for myself, and I really inspire other people to give it a try. Maybe not 100%, but just adding more raw foods to your first half of the day is already a huge benefit. And then you choose for yourself if you want to increase it or you want to just keep it simple and do it this way. So it's really very individual. And I know that you live in different parts of the world, and everybody has a different lifestyle and different cultural inheritance, and it's all really plays a huge role. I'm basically from Kazakhstan, and I was, grown and raised on meat and dal and pasta and all these kind of things. But then with time, when I moved from place where I was born, then I started choosing my own, things to eat, my own lifestyle, my own, priorities in life. So little by little, it's just changed for me and my family, and it actually happened 8 years ago. So it's been quite a while, since we turned completely to plants. We choose plants for so many reasons, because first of all, because of health reasons, it feels amazing, it tastes amazing, it's so good for our bodies. So like if you talk about being a little bit selfish, like think about yourself, what works for you. But then when you look at the wider picture, it's so good for planet in general, and I highly recommend watching you some documentaries. Let's say one of them is Eating Our Way to Extinction, where it's, so widely, so nicely, like last researches, last, numbers, last data said how really animal agriculture is the biggest reason of deforestation nowadays, of, decreasing the popularity of wild animals, and, just turning all our planet into desert. So I don't want to go deep into this topic. If you're curious, watch this documentary and see how it, resonates with you, or watch the trailer and see if you want to spend time watching it. But anyways, like we in our family, and it's actually our family, it's myself, my husband, 2 kids, they are 9 and 11 years old, and my mom, she's 70 years old. So we all choosing plants, and we, Jean knows, so my family, we all feel amazing. We all, always full of energy, and it makes a lot. And especially when you're young or when you're a kid, you always feel amazing. But when you age, after your 30s, 40s, I'm in my 40s, so you feel how like, your body starts slowing down in many processes. And if you really want to be healthy, happy, radiant, useful, full of vitality, raw foods is actually the way, and they taste amazing. And it's my goal is to show people how it's actually not so complicated to incorporate raw foods in your life, and inspire people, give it a try, see how it works. And if you want to feel great, and I know you all know how to feel great after you're eating fruits. Oh, it's amazing. After you eat a nice, delicious salads, you feel amazing. After attending some retreat, health retreat, you feel amazing. Or doing some juicing for a few days, you feel amazing. But why not to choose feeling amazing every day? Like why doing it like a couple times a year, or, whatever frequency. So we choose to feel great every day. And so that's what we're doing. But again, it's very individual, not trying to tell you that this is the way to go and you should all, quit what you're doing and start eating raw. Not absolutely, just to inspire you and show you that it's actually possible, it's doable. We're doing this for quite a long time, and It's really cool and amazing. Yeah, and so I have my recipe books which actually empower you and show you the recipes which are easy to follow, you know, easy to incorporate into your lifestyle. With just a few ingredients, you can make super cool foods which will really makes you feel radiant and feel good, and you can impress your friends, and you know, just like empowering you, giving you tools. And then you just go to your farmer's market, you go to your grocery store, you pick the produce, you fill your refrigerator with, you know, fresh foods, and you feel your, like you see we have on the countertop all kinds of fruit ripening, and yeah, I have all the sprouts which I'm going to talk later about, and in the cabinets all kinds of like seeds and nuts and some superfoods and some, you know, chia seeds, flax meals, like all kinds of these things. You just, when you learn the main ingredients and when you see the benefits, you just keep it going, you know, if you like the results. Yeah, that's how it is. Pretty easy, but I know for lots of people it sounds overwhelming, complicated. I have to tell you guys, we live in this world not to be restricted, not to feel complicated, not to feel, you know, bad. All you have to do is to feel awesome. So choose whatever makes you feel awesome. And yeah, little bit by little, step by step, just follow your awesomeness. That's I think the key, you know, because happiness is of course connected with what you eat, but it also, you know, how you feel inside, you know, what is your lifestyle, what do you do to make other people around you happy and fulfilled, how you share your love. So it's like very complex subject, actually. We can talk forever.
Yes, I love it. You know, one of my favorite parts of your story is that you grew up on a farm producing many of what you eat in Kazakhstan, and now like you're back to almost full circle where you went many years of being very disconnected to your food source, and now you're growing
Exactly.
your own food. Do you want to touch
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
little bit on your childhood?
Ah, with pleasure, with pleasure. So yeah, I grew up actually in a city, you know, in a small town, but we had our summer garden, you know, where we would go every weekend for the whole summer, vacations like for weeks. And really, yeah, we would grow all our food. And it was a norm when I was little. I didn't even know that it can be different way. Like everybody was growing, all our neighbors, you know, all our friends, everybody had the summer gardens, you know, which would be not a very big pieces of land with a small summer cottage where you can sleep, stay overnight, but you had everything, berries, fruits, vegetables, greens, herbs, you know, all kinds of things growing. And it was our responsibility to take care about these plants, and then to make sure that you know, we have everything to eat during the summer. During the summer, you eat fresh from the, you know, from the land. But then when autumn comes, when winter comes and spring, so we had lots of canned, lots of stored in a storage, you know, like under the ground, roots and vegetables, so we could eat them, everything. And so we never would like go to the store to buy any of these things, because we would grow all of it ourselves. How can you imagine how delicious is homegrown everything? It's just like a paradise. But it was absolutely like it was absolutely normal when I was growing up. Then I lived in big cities. I lived in St. Petersburg, big city. Then I lived in New York for a while. Then I lived in California for quite a long time. And now we back to kind of like regenerative lifestyle. And so we're in Costa Rica, and we have our amazing, beautiful land. And we spend, I just talked to people in the beginning that we spend usually like a couple of hours a day, but it doesn't feel like you work. It feels like you spend awesome time with your plants. You spend awesome times with your trees, with, I don't know, whatever, like weeds, insects, everything around. It's such a huge, beautiful environment around you. And you're just having fun, you know, going and taking care, do some weeding, do some mulching, do some, you know, planting. And yeah, and so we're looking forward that our food forest will be producing in 4 years, will be in full abundance, and like all this work and time will really, you know, pay back, you know, with huge harvest, with abundance of all kinds of exotic fruits and everything. So yeah, and exotic and non-exotic, like, you know, samples, and, you know, some, we have huge variety in our place. But anyways, it feels so amazing. It feels so connected. It feels so grounding. It feels so happy. It's unbelievable, you know. I wish everybody on this planet had at least small piece of land to take care about, you know, at least small one for a start, and see how it works. Yeah, but the more you have, the better, because then you can grow really, and you can like survive it. You can have your food sovereignty. You can have your lifestyle based on it.
Yeah, well, even just starting in a few pots, I always
Oh,
recommend to listeners and friends that if you're in the city or you're don't have your own yard, start in little pots, grow five herbs and get to know those herbs. And just that cultivation of your own herbs as being your medicine and touching the plant and beginning that relationship is just such a powerful process. And
exactly.
yeah, I want to show, I have a tiny little deck to show that we can touch on a few topics. Um, I'm going to pull it up. This picture is from Lena. It's such a beautiful portrait of how vibrant we can really live. And let's see. This is our backyard, and we started to grow our own food about 3 years ago. We've been growing in different places, planting wherever we go, whether we own land or not. And this is the first time we have settled and actually steward this land. And we started with roots and greens and becoming sovereign in all of our own herbs, greens, and roots. That's where to start. And then plant out your whole food forest, but know that starting with your starting with your roots and your greens and herbs is the place to start. Um, really wanting to touch on eating clean and local, as much live foods as possible in our diet, but really growing our relationship with our farmers. If you have any lawn, replace it right away with a garden and herbs. And you can also cultivate gardens where you rent in schools and parks. And looking into a community shared agriculture, the CSA boxes. This is a beautiful spread of Lena's with sprouts. We'll go into a little demo shortly here. Um, but also really, really investing in organic, because if we are not buying organic, then we are buying pesticides. We are buying and supporting companies that are spraying our earth, and it's leaking into our groundwaters, it's in our food. And so we all know organic, but I just wanted to touch on that a little bit more as well. And this is the Dirty Dozen. Lena, you have anything to add with the.
Oh, I have a basic rule, like buying greens and berries always organic. This is like the most things which you eat on a daily basis, and you don't eat them once in a while, you add them to your daily daily lifestyle. So berries and greens, buying organic 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and we could just go right into sprouting demo and maybe talking a little bit about how we eat fruit, plant seeds. Like, I think that really getting involved with sprouting and growing, just when we first moved to Costa Rica 5 years ago, we just were blown away with the amounts and varieties of tropical fruits that we've never tried before. And so many of them can just grow from seed. And cacao is a great, example. It takes just one more year when you plant from seed. You can also graft trees, but growing from seed is definitely very simple. You can just create a little garden outside your house or in pots. Lena has Lena's nursery is like right by her where she eats and dines, and
Yeah, like how you, because when you eat amazing fruit, when it's it can be like simple fruit, even when you eat papaya. We eat papaya every day, but sometimes papaya is so delicious. It's like extra sweet, extra juicy, and it's just like extra flavor, like next level. I just can't throw away the seeds. So I go and I plant the seeds, and then I grow them into little saplings, bigger, then we put them in the ground. And so in a year, we're going to have our own papaya, let's say papaya. Or mango, you know, there are so many varieties of mango, and some of them are so-so, some of them really good, some of them are extremely good. And again, like when you eat this beautiful, amazing fruit, it's just, you know, it's a crime to throw away the peach. So that's what we do. We put it in the ground, and it, you know, sprouts very well, very fast. You have a sapling, and then you put it in the ground, and in a few years you have your tree. It takes some time. It actually takes very little time, but to plant, but it takes time then to wait for the fruit, of course. But it's like with any fruit tree, it's totally happening this way. Yeah, but it's amazing having your little space. Like we have it in a little rancho outside. Jim yesterday saw we have like, I don't know, hundreds of different trees growing. Some of them are super small, just sprouted. Some of them already big and ready to go to the ground. But it's really amazing experience for kids, for us. We are kids, you know, like see how things are growing. But as you said, the best and the easiest way to grow is to sprout. Yeah, I hope you guys had an experience in sprouts. You sprouted yourself, or you eat sprouts in some, you know, salads when you go take, you know, some salads or something in a restaurant. It's really popular now, and it's getting more and more popular, luckily. And it's amazing that you can do it. Doesn't matter where you live, in an apartment, in a house. You don't need any land. You just sprout on your window. You need nice sunlight, and you need a little bit of your attention twice a day, you know, washing your seeds. Do you want me to show?
Yeah, let's go through the demo.
So yeah, so we actually sprout on a weekly basis. Usually, you know, sometimes two different varieties, but usually it's three varieties. The easiest one is lentils, and it looks like this. You know, and we put all the seeds in a jars just on Saturday evening. You know, so it just took like 4 days for them to sprout, and they're all ready to eat. This one is broccoli sprout, and it's like, you know, new superfood. It has so much of everything. You don't need anything else. You know, you don't need any vitamins, any supplements if you eat broccoli sprout. And this one is radish sprouts. Super nice. It's like radish, so it has a little bit of pink, you know, hue. Very spicy. Like you just put a handful on your salad, add this additional spiciness, flavor, texture, fiber, like everything. And so the way we do it, we put just this much, like, you know, a little bit to your jar. Then you rinse it twice to make sure everything is like super clean, you know, like nice and good. Then you put a little bit more water than you have seeds, maybe like twice more, just, you know, eyeballing them, no measurements here. And you let them sit overnight. So like 8, 10, 12 hours, so they can absorb all the water and like regain its power. And then in the morning, you pour out all them liquid, and you fill it with a, you know, you just, you know, wash it twice again. So make sure that everything is clean and nice. And you see, I have these jars with mesh lids, you see, like this. So it's very easy to wash them this way. You can also do in a bowl. You can do in any kind of blender. You know, you can use any actually basic, you know, vessel, you know, for growing your seeds. These ones I used for like almost 2 years or maybe more. And I brought them when we moved to Costa Rica. I just brought them from California in my luggage because, you know, that's our almost like, you know, we love it. We every day making adding sprouts to our food. So it was important for me to bring them. And so I can continue doing it this way. So you can order online, or you can just have a lid and use like a mesh cloth, you know, so like cheesecloth or any kind of like, you know, cloth which has little, you know, like mesh texture. So that's another way. And I hold them all on this kind of, you see, this is like a wash dish rack, and it sits right by the sink. And so then the liquid, when you put your jar this way, you see like this. So the liquid goes, extra liquid goes to the tray, and from the tray directly to the sink. So maybe when you see it first time, it sounds a little bit complicated, but when you start using it, it's just like, you know, it's a life-changing, you know, device. And you buy one, so this dash rack and dish rack, and you buy like 3, or, you know, how many you need 2 or maybe 5. jars with lids, and you set for lifetime because they like, you know, they last forever. Just be careful. Yeah. And so it's very easy. Lentils you can buy like in any store, because like you just buy organic lentils and it's super easy, affordable. So it's the most affordable sprouts, and they are full of all kinds of stuff, you know, and so packed with protein. So that's amazing, and you can do it right away, like starting tomorrow. Broccoli, radish, amaranth, you know, clover, you know, alfalfa. There are so many. There are like hundreds of seeds that you can sprout and eat them raw the same way. Usually you buy them in specialized, you know, distributors, and there are a few websites, you know, where you can order them. I bring them from States. I'm pretty sure there is abundance of, you know, I'm pretty sure there's I bring them from States, and the company is called, oh my gosh, Sproutman. You know, there are a few, you know, you just, we will send you later the list, or you just Google, you know, organic seeds for sprouting. And you will have a bunch of, you know, companies who sell them. And you buy them like in a pack like this. And this pack lasts you for, I don't know, for many months, you know, depending how much you sprout. And so it's really easy, it's really affordable. And, you know, when you buy sprouts in a store, they're like 5-10 times more expensive than when you sprout them at home. And making it 1 time, 2 times, then you see how it's actually easy. And on my YouTube channel, I have couple sprouting videos where I talk and show in all details, you know, how I'm doing this. Now I did like kind of like a shortened version, but yeah, it's actually easy. I'm happy, guys, that if you'll be interested trying at least starting with lentils, and then maybe move into some other seeds if you want some more variety. Show us your sprouts.
Yes, I want to. So I don't have the special jars. What I do is I just use a plate that has a little lid, and then I cover it with a cheesecloth so that they get air. And my sprouts I started them on Monday, so one day before or after you. So in another day they'll be bigger, but you can see here that
yeah. So
yeah.
mine are like couple centimeters. Yeah.
Yep. I like to eat them when they're a little bigger, but this is you can see I probably will wait one more day to eat the sprout, but they still you can still eat them at any
just like this, just like I like it just like as a snack sometimes, you know. You just come, eat like a handful, and wow, feels good.
Yes. And the key is to wash them twice a day, like Lena said, because if you don't, they'll get moldy or like slimy and no longer be healthy for us. We need to maintain the relationship with our seeds, wash them twice a day, and then make sure you have them covered either with what Lena is talking about with the lid.
In our situation, we have them covered with lids, and they are in this direction. So, you know, all like everything is like goes out, all the extra liquid. And as soon as they grow enough, like when they're ready to eat, we just put them in a refrigerator, you know, in a container. We put them in the refrigerator, and then we eat them, you know, little by little every day. And we fill with new sprouts, and then we have like, you know, non-stop sprouting process going on. Yes.
Yes, lentils is what's in my weekly regime. I haven't gotten into other sprouting. Just, it's a little harder to find. I posted in a link to where you can find seeds, organic and well-grown seeds in Costa Rica. And online you can find many different places, especially in your town, swap seeds and such. But organic lentils is something that is just so simple that
accessible. And you also can find easily mung beans sprout. Amazing. They're so sweet and delicious. You can also sprout red lentils, black lentils, you know, if you want to have some variety, you know, and change it a little bit. But yeah, lentils is the best choice ever. Like I like this closed eyes recommended for absolutely everyone. Doesn't matter what's your lifestyle, what you eat, what it's a great addition to any kind of food. And the way we like to eat it, we usually make big salads for dinner, and so, but not salads just like lettuce, cucumber, tomato. We usually have like, you know, some different ingredients, you know, beets, carrots, celery, and greens would be like, different kinds of greens. Let's say kale, arugula for spiciness, kale for, color and all the nutrients, some romaine for kind of like volume and deliciousness. And then you top all this with some avocado, with some, let's say, pumpkin seeds to give some crunch, and with some seeds, with some sprouts. Yeah. And you can add all kinds of sprouts or just the one you like the most. Let's say I like lentils a lot, and I love broccoli a lot. Radish is very spicy, so I just add a little bit, like just tiny bit. I don't want to overpower my, salad. But again, my husband, he loves spicy, so he added more radish. So it's really individual. You'll find your way. Or you can make, you can just, add it to as a snack, like we just talked. Or you can add a handful of sprouts to your smoothie when you blend a smoothie, and so you just drink them. It's awesome. Some people juice sprouts. I actually not a fan of it. I think they so deserve our love and admiration. Eating whole way, not juicing. But you also can do like a taco. So you just take a green leaf, you put whatever ingredients, and then you top with sprouts, and just as it is. Yeah, so many ways, easy to incorporate them. It's just like, when you make avocado toast, my gosh, put a handful of sprouts on top, and it will look amazing. It will have this additional crunch texture and all the nutrients, you can dream about. Yeah. Sprouts, way to go.
Yes, and it's so beautiful because when you have the connection of the seed, watching it grow, and whether it's just your connection to the sprouting of a lentil or the sprouting of a fruit tree, you gain this new level of appreciation for your connection to your food supply. And I think it's so important for us to become producers of our life and to start to produce our own sprouts, produce our own salsas, produce our own sauerkraut, our own ferments, and all these types of production doesn't take very long. It can take, for me, it takes about 3 hours on one day, and I produce all these items, sprouts, ferments, salsas, and I usually make a big soup, like root soup, to start off my week, so that I have really nutritious items that are just ready to go. I have sprouts to top off our salads. I have salsas to spread onto our salads, or I also make a hot sauce. And I love making ferments too, the sauerkraut or kimchi. It's kind of like a mix between that with herbs from our garden. And you can see recipes on our website. But just becoming producer of your life and not always relying on going to a grocery store, going to farmers markets and trading and swapping with your friends, and just gaining back our connection to our food supply and our life source, which is our food that we consume.
Totally agree. When you learn how to make it, when you make it once, it's maybe complicated, then you make it second time, third time, and it just becomes your routine. It's actually so easy. We also do, sauerkraut on a almost weekly basis. And we do sauerkraut from regular cabbage. We really love it, with some carrots and some spices. And we do from the purple cauliflower, which is like the most beautiful and vibrant color. It's like adds, like, I can't imagine actually my salad without a couple tablespoons of sauerkraut. It just gives, all the saltiness, all the crunchiness, all the juiciness. It's just amazing. And then you don't need any, probiotic powders. You don't need any, tablets or any capsules, because you have your homemade probiotic, which you 100% know the ingredients. You 100% know that it's fresh, just produced a few days ago. We even started making our, marinated cucumbers, when you just put them, cucumbers, lots of dill, some sliced garlic, a little bit of sea salt. You put it and let it ferment. Oh my gosh, it's just like your own made pickles. It's like you will never get this stuff in the store, because in the stores they have like list of ingredients, and it's sometimes too sweet, too salty, or too vinegary, And when you make your own food, you are the boss, in your kitchen. You are the boss of your palette, and it's amazing. Yeah, guys, we really encourage you to spend, yeah, like you say, even once a week, you spend time doing this, and that, and then you set up for a week, and then just make sure that you have fresh produce available in your refrigerator. When you're low on something, you just go buy fresh produce, because if you don't have, available in your refrigerator, on your countertop food, then it's when you reach for a package of chips, a package of whatever, fast foods, which is a really concern nowadays. Like, I really encourage you, like, doesn't matter what you eating whole foods. Like, if you're eating whole foods, doesn't matter what are they, you're already doing such a good job for yourself right today and in the future. And it's just such a complex question, but like, yeah, like how we spoiled our society with all this easiness and availability and variety of processed foods. It's totally understandable that lots of people just choose easy way, but then we have all these complications which we see right away. We feel bad, our digestive system feels not the best, and then all kinds of complications come. So instead of waiting for complications, instead of waiting for prescribed kind of retreat or detox or any kind of regime to follow, why not to eat every day healthy, choose health, and really respect our body as a temple. Like, why would I put something bad inside? Why? I don't know, maybe once in a while, but like, sometimes different circumstances, different situations, yeah, in life, in the airport or whatever. Like, but if you are devoted to health, you will find your way no matter where you are. If you travel or when you are anywhere, like, you can always find a way. But at the same time, guys, have fun. Like, choose what makes you feel amazing, choose what makes you feel full of energy, choose high vibrational foods, because it's not a joke. Like raw foods, fresh, right from the garden, from the tree, or from your favorite farmer. It's all high vibrational foods. They have like, and you feel amazing. It's not just because you said this in your mindset. It's because really this energy which these plants bring to you. And when for some reason you choose to eat dead food, that's the way you feel. You feel in the beginning great, because there are lots of spices, lots of saltness, lots of whatever flavors you added. So it's kind of like filled you up, you feel amazing. But then you feel sluggish, you feel tired, you don't go to the restroom for a while and you're wondering why. And then, it can end up to any kinds of diseases and everything. So as much as you can, try to eat healthy. And it's so obvious and everybody knows it, but absolutely not everybody follows it. But yeah, when you set your health as a priority, you want to live long for yourself, for your kids, for your goals, like dream big. We have such a big dreams. I can't even afford being sick, so much going on in our farm, with our house, with building our dream future. It's like it's amazing to be inspired, always have a goal and move to it. And yeah, food actually plays a big role, because we eat 3 times a day at least. Somebody 5 times, somebody 2 times, but we eat it. And so it implies time to make food, to eat food, to digest food. So we can't take it easy. We need to pay attention to what we eat. And yeah, if we want to be happy and glowing.
Yeah, I mean, I went so many years being disconnected to my food supply, and started going plant-based, completely vegan for 6 years, and now I consider myself more plant-based. We have chickens here, and I've integrated some eggs into my diet sometimes, and I think it's so important to be intuitively eating, to really listen to what our needs are and not put ourselves in a box or have labels.
Exactly.
I've kind of just dropped labels and said, all right, I know intuitively what I need, and I every day I'm making different herbal blends of teas based on what my body thinks I need in that moment. And how can we live closer to that? How can we live our heart's path, live intuitively, and start to grow some of our own? And I have a book that's been one of my biggest inspirations. And we're in Costa Rica, but there are books in every single climate, wherever you are in the world, to just start to get to know your local plants. And we've started to collect, we have over half the plants in this book that are our medicines. And we utilize herbalism in our everyday life through our eating, through our teas, through our soups, through our salads, and really food is our medicine. So how can we really tap into that intuitive side to ourselves and prescribe ourselves what we need, right?
Yeah, that's amazing, and they are so easy to grow. Let's say tulsi, we have tulsi like maybe 5 or 6 big bushes in our garden, and they are, oh my gosh, they are so abundant. They grow so easy. They grow so well. I never pass not taking a couple leaves and just eating them. I love the bitterness. I love the flavor, and it's so easy to make teas, to just add them to salads, to add them to your dressings. Like it's really easy. And or let's say purple hibiscus. Oh my gosh, this one it has special place in my heart. It's like, or like there are so many, right? And what I really like that they also attract pollinators. So they all flowers, they attract bees, attract butterflies. So they're beautiful in your garden. They give you health. So they give you, all this additional nutrition which you're not necessarily, getting from greens and vegetables and whatever else you eat. It's really amazing. Like herbalism is huge nowadays, and I myself, I'm already graduated from one herbalist school. Now I'm attending another herbalist, online getting intermediate education. So it's really amazing, and it's so much connected again with the way we grew up. Because when I was little, that's exactly what we were doing. We were growing all these herbs for teas. We were growing them for tinctures, for, all the leaves to help with cuts and some pain, So it's been actually in our life for so many years, for centuries, for ages, for thousands of years. And so nice that now people more and more getting attracted to this amazing practice of growing or going to the wilderness and collecting these herbs and incorporating them into the lifestyle. And this is our medicine. This is actually our medicine, which can treat almost every year, like so many complications. That's good.
Yes. And what's so interesting is that it's just one generation lost, really. Our
Mm-hmm.
grandmothers and our
Yes.
grandmothers had all of this wisdom that they had their apothecary in their garden. They were growing some of their favorite herbs, and my partner Alan's grandmother passed that all down to him. So he has this grandmother knowledge that he's teaching me and teaches others, and we all can tap into that and start to learn. And for me, I just study 1 or 2 plants a day, and I've been studying for 5, 6, 7 years, reading this book and others, and just studying the just getting to know, tasting, trying, seeing how I feel, reading
Mhm.
about it, observing it in the garden, and just establishing that relationship. And we all can do this, just starting with just start with 5 and then go from there.
Yeah, and it's amazing when you go, let's say, for a walk or for a hike, and then you see some of them just growing by the road and or by the trail, and you recognize them, and it's amazing that you learn from nature experience. You learn from books, you learn from nature, you learn from so many sources. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I want to share just so I am a best-selling author of Regenerate Your Reality, and in the book there is a section on purification, and this is where we touch on how organic, plant-based living can really purify our body temple and bring us into our highest vibration so that we can show up for the earth, we can show up for our communities, our families, and really step into our best version of ourselves. So I'm going to read from the conclusion just a paragraph or so. So, purifying the mind and the body and feeding our temple in all ways are important parts to thriving. We mimic our environment. If we are sick, then the earth is too, and vice versa. We need to continually regenerate ourselves by taking care of the environment. It's all about the journey to getting in touch with ourselves, our heart, and nature. It's not about immediate change. It's about gently introducing ourselves to a lifestyle that is healthier, more sustainable, and interconnected with all beings. It's about transitioning to living with more simplicity and health for ourselves and the planet. Each time we surface another layer of our human existence, heal it, it's like peeling back another layer of an onion. The inner work of releasing stories, patterns, past traumas goes hand in hand with purifying our body temple. It's important to make our medicines through our foods and establish healthy rituals to connect back to ourselves and the nature around us. When we purify our bodies and minds, we can show up for our best self, for our families, community, and planet. And that's just 2 paragraphs from the conclusion section. But there is a quote from Maria Rodell from the Rodell Institute, and I highly recommend her book called Organic Manifesto. And she says, here's what we know. Plants, animals, people all have immune systems. When we are in the natural environment and take good care of ourselves, eat right, exercise, sleep well, use basic hygiene, feel loved and cared for, and actively take part in our communities, our immune systems are healthy and strong. When we try to sterilize our environment, or the extreme opposite, be truly dirty, or we try to exterminate a weed or an insect or a disease, then nature fights back as we would, launching even stronger attacks. The result is disease, super pests, becoming resilient to pesticides. The more we isolate ourselves and control nature, the weaker and the more vulnerable we become. And so that's a quote from Maria Rodell that I really love, and it really resonates. And I feel like it's kind of really on point of everything we're talking about here, right?
Absolutely. Yes, that's amazing to see how actually nature already developed all the mechanism for us, in our body, in our environment, in our surrounding, and we need just to recognize them and to follow them. Yeah,
Yes.
that's amazing.
Yeah, I there's a we can open up to questions. Um, you can turn on your video if you want, and we'll pin you in the conversation. I know we have um, a few really interesting participants here, so feel free to zoom in here. I'm gonna, Chris, you want to, or Jonathan, you want to come in to the? Okay, I have you, Jonathan, first.
Hello, everyone. Let me just see if my microphone is working. Right. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much. Super inspiring. A lot of things that I'm already also practicing. I've been really excited about sprouting lentils in a bag. I was surprised how well it goes in a nut milk bag, and just masses of them now that I have to do something with. So that's exciting. I'm looking to more, just really cheap and low threshold opportunities to sprout things. I've got some garbanzos today, some chickpeas, and looking into finding other seeds and even so that you can sprout quinoa and things that I didn't know. If I'm experimenting with brown rice that you can currently sprout, so that's exciting. Opening up new things, and I so agree with you about the aliveness and being so much more connected to the food, even just by making your own sourdough bread and feeling the culture being alive, or the kimchi and these kind of things that really excites me. So for me, the next step is really to, beyond the sprouts, have a little garden patch and facing the little challenges. I've never really had a garden here in the tropics, so having the agoutis come and dig up the pineapple that I just put into the ground and eating it, and okay, do I have to build a fence, or how do I keep them away? So these little challenges of like taking a little step and then adapting, and iterating and making a new plan of how to build things next. But yeah, I think one of the things that I'm really looking forward as a next step is to build more community, to actually exchange seeds, to create plants together, and to support each other in that process. So it really feels like, okay, yeah, I can do some of these things by myself. I can teach some of these things for myself, but it's just so much more fun to connect with other people who have similar challenges or who maybe have gone that path already. So it's beautiful to connect with you here and to learn from your experience and to soak up that inspiration. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, there's so many great seed exchanges, and really, I recommend wherever you are in the world, set up your own. You can do like start a truque is what they call it here in Costa Rica. It's like a clothing exchange, a product exchange, a seed exchange, a plant exchange, a knowledge exchange, and it's almost like a little mini festival where we're just all interswapping our knowledge and just like it's so beautiful to see, but I highly recommend wherever you are in the world, just start setting up your own with the plant lovers in your community. And you can find plant lovers through Facebook, through just your own networks, and you can
Farmers market,
farmers,
just go
yeah,
to farmers market, meet people there, and like people who go there, it's usually same vibe, same values, same priorities in life. And yeah, that's amazing. Like I was on this seed exchange, and you invited me, Jean, a few months ago, and it was an amazing experience. And now we have all these seeds we collected from this mini festival, and they all growing, and it's amazing. We have hibiscus, we have lots of supportive species. It's amazing. It's just wonderful. Yeah, and people are always like, when you have a lot, you want to share. It's kind of like you can't keep it for yourself. I can't wait myself to participate in seed exchange, and share with people, some cool, amazing crops which we grow, and inspire them to try to propagate and grow them themselves. So it's really when you live this life, you doing your best for yourself, but then it expands so quickly, and it expands so abundantly, and you just sharing with people. You're sharing your knowledge, you're sharing your seeds, you're sharing your tips and tricks, and it's amazing. It's like nothing else, I would say. Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm so happy that as soon as we arrived to Costa Rica, I met Jean, and she connected me to her partner, to her farm, to so many other amazing people. It's incredible. So you just need one person, and then it will circle up. You will get the whole community together. Yeah, but you need to start with something. So and just being curious, just being like looking, and not being afraid to reach out to people and to ask for advice, to ask for help, to connect, to share some experience. Yeah, that's the key.
Yes, the farmers market is like where the plant lovers dwell. Right?
Fruit lovers, plant lovers, yeah.
Plant lovers, organic lovers.
Medicine lovers, everything, yeah. Yeah.
Chris, do you want to pop in here?
Yeah, sure. Well, first off, thank you guys both for putting this on. Lena, I appreciate all the healthy food tips, and Jean, I look forward to reading your book. I'm definitely going to snag that. I've been interested in healthy food for a while now. Even while I was still a coder, software engineer, I was like, eating healthy, eating organic makes sense to me. And I've always been trying to tell people about it, how important it is. And but more recently, I've learned also how important community is, kind of going off of what Jonathan was saying. And community is one of those things that you don't really realize you're lacking until you get a taste for it, until you see other people who are in community. And so that's why I'm really excited to be joining this this intentional community that I mentioned in the chat. The land is already purchased, but the housing won't be developed for a few more years, so it's still kind of early in the project. But yeah, that community aspect, and this is kind of where we get into permaculture, right? Permaculture is not just about the food, but it's also about the community and how we live together, and how we, our relationship with each other and the earth. So I'm really excited about that. I'm definitely going to be following you guys. I want to learn more. I haven't been to Costa Rica. I'd love to visit sometime and check out your guys' farm if that's an option. Maybe there's some opportunity for collaboration in the future. Love to. I got a little e-commerce company selling some hemp products. Maybe I can plug your guys' webinar series or something like that. So yeah, thanks again. I'm excited to be here learning with you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Wow. Thank you, Chris. Be careful when you come to Costa Rica. You'll stay in Costa Rica.
Yeah. The community.
You come, you realize that this is it. This is heaven. It has everything you can ever imagine. Best people, best climate, best, everything is like, even rains here are amazing. Yeah, we
That's what
came
I
to Costa
heard.
Rica first time 14 years ago, and since then we were traveling many times, and then we decided, okay, why we should just live here, as we like it so much. And so we bought our land, we're now building our house, and we moved with the whole family, and it's amazing, you know. It's just like living your dream life, you know. It's like keep dreaming, but then, you know, just start living your dream life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So welcome to Costa Rica. We'd love you to have here.
and I'd love to visit you, the community next time. I haven't been back to Seattle area since for 4 years probably. But I do plan on going back sometime and would love to connect and see what you're growing on, and see how we can collaborate. So yeah, shoot me an email so we have I guess I have your email through this thing, but yeah, thanks so much for joining us. And it's a huge global community that we're all in this regenerative movement, and it's so exciting to see how we're all in this together, and we're all working towards organic, growing our own way out of crisis, and working together through seed exchanges, through farmers markets, through collaboration. The power of collaboration is huge, and I've learned that through I'm working on a project called Jungle Project here in Costa Rica, where it's a social enterprise all about trees, training, and trade. And we work with local farmers and smallholder farmers, where we teach agroforestry practices and provide breadfruit to these farmers. And after 4 years, the breadfruit is producing, and one breadfruit can feed a family for life. It's just like a miracle fruit. And just seeing how we can collaborate with the universities, how we can collaborate with with the the governmental institutions, and I just can imagine how this is happening in so many parts of the world, and that we are the change we want to see, you know, and we just got to continue working towards regeneration in all ways. And it's exciting to be walking the earth during these times, and know that there is a different way to live, and maybe we've lived many different lives within this life. and here we are now living regeneratively, and the seed of potential is within us all. Right?
Definitely very inspiring. A couple other things I wanted to mention really quick, a couple of things that I'm interested in exploring. You know, it's great that people like us are into this thing, but there are so many people who just aren't yet and just don't know about it, or it's just too hippie for them, you know. And so I'm curious, like how can we approach these people? How can we get our message out to people who might not necessarily be already attuned to that you know, that message? And the other thing I'm interested in exploring is how we can make, you know, sustainable regional economies more viable, right? How can we form those cooperatives? How can we, you know, do things a little differently than the current, you know, capitalist grow at all cost paradigm? And so that's what we're going to be exploring. You know, we're all about trying to make little ag enterprises, little cooperatives on the property, and try to keep the food local and healthy and stuff. So yeah, we've got a long ways to go, but it's an exciting, it's the best work that we can do, right? Try to make people and the earth healthy, and we all need it.
Yes. Yeah. It now more than ever is the time to just jump onto the regenerative movement. And I think, to answer a little bit of maybe both your questions, is it is becoming mainstream. Regeneration is becoming mainstream. Like the Kiss the Ground movie, for example. It's another organization that's out in California that I partner with, and I'm a soil advocate at Kiss the Ground. Their movie went viral. Millions and millions of people watched this movie. there's many different documentaries that are happening that have made some of this information that maybe once was considered hippie really more mainstream, and people are understanding that it's not just the climate crisis is not just a, you know, non-important thing. It's something that we're all going to see in the impact in our life, and we are experiencing now through droughts, hurricanes, floods, all of fires in California and such. We're all experiencing different impacts, and even, you know, uh, it's all impacting us in different ways. And how can we be the change? How individually, and then also partner on regional levels and country levels, and then how do we connect globally? And it's absolutely happening. And I think the whole idea of circular economy is absolutely necessary. We need to bring back the mom and pop, the smaller scale farmers, and really empower our farmers as they are our heroes. They're growing our food, they're protecting our earth, and how can we really promote regenerative organic agriculture?
Yeah, and starting with your own family, your own community, people who really around you, inspiring them, being an example, not pushing them too much, just thriving, being happy, and they will come to you and they'll ask you, why are you always happy? Why are you always such a good mood? Why, what are you taking? What are you like? And you're taking foods, you're taking plants, and you're taking all this healing, amazing, living foods. So just really being an example, really inspiring people, and starting from little by little, and not being discouraged, because there will be always big corporations, there will be always big organizations which will tell absolutely opposite things from what we promote. But we don't afraid of it. We believe in it. We live in this life. We growing our kids in this lifestyle, and just little by little, step by step, inspiring more and more people, one at a time, and it's already a victory.
Well,
Yeah, what do they say? Think global, act local.
yes.
And if everybody did that, then there'd be a lot of good change.
Yes, exactly. Let's hope for that, and let's keep being our best versions of ourselves and inspiring other people.
Yes, the ripple is real, and it starts with ourselves. We all are seeds of inspiration, and it ripples outwards to our families, our communities, our networks, and it's very exciting to see. But continuing to be the change we want to see in the world.
Exactly.
I think we're almost at the hour, but right before.
Thank you, everyone. It was very much pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes. Before we close, this is Lena, and follow her on YouTube. And she has an amazing Instagram that I love, so feel free to follow her at Raw Vegan Foods. Also, next month will be in person and virtual for our webinar series, Permaculture in Action. We'll be in Puerto Viejo with Jose
Jean,
Pablo.
I'm so sorry. I have to jump out right now. I need to go pick up kids from school. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Love you. Send you so much love. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks, Lena. And just to share, we are doing a masterclass, in permaculture masterclass, November 12th in person, and you can join us here. And then ultimately, regeneration is possible for all of us, and I'm so happy that you're all here and you're listening and tuning in. And yeah, we are the change we want to see in the world. And so with that, yeah, we'll close the webinar, and feel free to reach out to me if you want to keep connected. And I'll just show you a little bit of our garden. This is our garden back here. This is our dry garden right there, and then we have a perennial garden and food forest surrounding. And you just don't need that much space to grow. So just giving you inspiration to start somewhere. And thank you all, and big hug to everyone. So we'll see you. Thank you for joining us.
Amazing. Thank you. you so
Thank
much.
you.
See
Thank
you
you.
soon in
Bye.
person.
Thank you.